Welcome, everyone, to the ScreamCast, episode 68. I am Sean DeRager, and with me is BJ Colangelo.
Hi.
And also, Brad Henderson is in the hizzy.
Did you just say hizzy?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, my God.
This is why no one likes
We just lost 20 listeners right there. They're like, I was out at hizzy.
Whatever. It's all good.
God. Here we go. There we go.
I have no excuse for using hizzy either. I have no excuse at all. So, whatever. Today we are, Brad's gonna fall asleep mid-podcast. I have a feeling.
Probably.
He's acting like a bitch saying he's all tired.
Yeah.
So, anyway, today we have, we first of all want to thank all of you for the awesome response to last week's episode. I think these, doing the, kind of the topic episodes is a good idea, and we will continue, in the future. We're going to kind of play it by ear with how we'll do each show, and, I kind of like keeping everyone on their toes, and not having an exact same thing every single week, which is great. Today we'll be kind of going through the Scream Factory announcements, because Comic-Con just happened over the weekend, and they've been talking about they're going to be dropping 10 titles. It's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's Comic-Con. We're amazing.
Whoa.
Did they live up to the hype? Is what we will discover together.
My God.
But first, we need to talk about what arrived on our doorstep.
First, you need to calm down.
Holy cow, I almost forgot.
We'll get the door.
This is a podcast. We're supposed to keep the energy up.
Okay. Woo!
I'll go first because as usual, I had like nothing. And this week I really had pretty much nothing. So in continuation of the fun and amazing Goosebumps VHS tapes that I have now acquired, I rewatched One Day at Horrorland, Part 1 and 2, and I forgot how brilliant the Goosebumps special effects team is, because they essentially made 100 different versions of the exact same mask. This guy has an eye patch, and this one's blue, and this one's green. I was like, that's really smart. You saved yourself a lot of time by doing that. So I rewatched that, and I finally got to check out the Olive Films release for Stone Cold, and it was titties awesome. It's a beautiful transfer. I loved it. All the same stuff that Brad said.
Brian Bosworth and Tidy White. No, not Tidy White. They're bikini briefs, aren't they?
Yes, they are, and that mullet is so glorious.
Oh, my God. You just want to take a bite out of his ass.
I'm sure that's what you want to
Whoa. Whoa.
Hey, if it was back in the 80s, I'd pitch it. Oh, wait, is that what it is?
Dude, I don't even know your
God.
lingo anymore. Like, you say shit, and I don't even nod because I'm scared.
I'd swing both ways for Brian Bosworth back in the day.
I
think
don't
so.
know, man. Dan Stevens is about it.
Oh, God, I would do disgustingly illegal things. Ugh.
Anyway, as I giggle like a schoolgirl, here we go.
It sounds like you're, like, you have, like, low standards for dudes.
No, I'm just messing around.
No, I think you're serious. You're backing out now.
I do have a list, though. I do have a list. Maybe we'll discuss that at another time.
No, I think we can discuss it now.
We can discuss it, maybe on the episode 69.
Perfect. That's what we should do for 69.
Actors or actresses that we would switch it for.
Well,
Boom, topic discovered.
I switch it in real life, so I won't be that fun.
I have nothing to say. Nothing. That's suddenly distracted.
Anyway, what's on your doorstep, Sean? Because that's literally all I had this week, because I am an idiot.
I didn't have much this week either, because I'm doing this thing called exercising, and I'm going outside and stuff, and it's really keeping me from sitting on my ass. which is it's a love-hate relationship with that.
Sounds like it.
But I watched Stigmata, Scream Factory's
Ew, why?
Blu-ray transfer. I really loved this film when it first came out. I had it on VHS. I did. I did.
Wait.
Mainly,
God.
what year was this when this came out? 99? So I was in...
Some bullshit year the rest of those fucking horror movies came out.
I was in college and very young in my horror education. And
I was 9 years old and knew that movie was some toasted garbage, so you have no excuse.
Well, I always kind of lean more towards religious horror, so the Stigmata thing was very much up my alley and very much interested in it. Unfortunately, the topic is much more interesting than the film itself. Directed by Rupert Wainwright.
Yeah,
and starring
who fucked
Patricia
up the Fog
Arquette.
remake.
Oh God, he did the Fog remake?
Yeah.
No wonder. Jonathan Pryce is in this as well as Gabriel Byrne. It's this time in movies is weird because you can in the 90s. Every decade, you're always like, I wonder what people will think the next few decades. And this is like a 90s movie for sure. Like the grunge is in full effect. Billy Corgan had to have been involved somehow with the soundtrack or something. And
what, the fucking Smashing Pumpkins dude?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. There's a...
Did they play Smashing Pumpkins songs?
Was that your generalization of late 90s grunge?
Yes.
Okay.
Basically. Let's look at the back here. Natalie Imbruglia has a music video on this album. So that's... or it's on this Blu-ray.
A music video on the album.
On the Blu-ray.
Wait, Scream Factory put a Natalie Imbruglia music video?
Yep. I think all
that's
this...
insane.
Well, I think all this was on the previous DVD, I think. But let's just say the most awesome part of this Blu-ray is the two documentaries on there, Stigmata, Marked for Life, Incredible But True, and then Divine Rights, the story of Stigmata. Those are awesome. And those because the subject of Stigmata and everything can be awesome, and it makes for a really great story. Unfortunately, this movie does not offer it, and it's 90s horror flick. She works in some hair studio that also does piercings and tattoos. It's edgy. And what else do they do? Is that it's weird.
Dude, this is all you. I have nothing to say about Stigmata.
I had a lot of fun rewatching it because it was pretty damn bad. Not even guilty pleasure. It's bad. But it kind of, I don't know. Like I said, the subject matter is a lot better than the movie itself. And we can move on from there. That's all I got. I also got, for pretty damn cheap, Mill Creek Entertainment put out Firebirds on Blu-ray. The Tommy Lee Jones, Nicolas Cage, and Sean Young helicopter film.
I'm really glad that you purchased
absolutely
it.
Awful, but I love it. That's out on Blu-ray in a bare bones, okay HD mastered transfer Blu-ray for those who would want it. It's incredibly bad, but I love it.
So basically, you took up working out to watch shitty movies.
Yes.
Cool.
Yep, pretty much.
How can you even watch those movies through your transition lenses?
What? Well, when I'm inside, they're not.
Are you sure?
Transitioned. Yes.
Are you sure?
Positive. I look in the mirror.
Okay.
Although I can't sneak outside during work and come back in because everyone knows that I've been, or if I'm late for work, everyone knows I'm late because my glasses are still dark. God damn it.
So you don't take them off?
No, they're my glasses. They're my glasses.
Ooh, your glasses.
Well, duh, but I take my glasses off sometimes.
I can't
Why
see
don't you just do that? Because then problem solved.
Because I can't see shit.
Well,
basically.
that sucks to your ass.
Well, you watch Stigmata.
Yeah.
All I gotta say is
that would have been a time to take off the glasses.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. It may have looked better.
Or just went to go work out.
For fans of if if you're a fan of Stigmata, the transfer looks pretty great, and but I would not recommend paying more than $7.99 for the Blu-ray.
A used dollar.
Or
a used dollar.
A used dollar.
That's falling apart.
Like I said, the documentaries on it are if you're like me and you like this kind of religious like stuff, like those 2 documentaries about Stigmata are pretty great and pretty fascinating. 'Cause they actually show people who've quote unquote been through the Stigmata and their scars and crap. So that is pretty cool. So anyway, moving along, Brad.
Before we jump into Brad, I have a question for both of you, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I got my hands, and by I mean technically Zach, my boyfriend, got his hands on it at the flea market today. Blue Underground's release of The Nesting for $5. Was that a worthy purchase?
Oh yeah, totally.
Or,
I'm jealous because I want it that cheap. It's been on my wish list for a while. Yes.
Yeah. Why wouldn't that be?
Yeah,
good?
like I don't know. Because I didn't know if, like, the transfer was okay. I haven't read anything on it, but we're like, $5 for Blue Underground? Like, shit, yeah, we're going to take that.
Yeah.
So,
that's
yeah,
a great
good
price,
to know. Perfect.
I think anything, pretty much,
Awesome.
if you find anything Blue Underground for $5, that's a steal.
Yeah.
That's kind of how I felt about it, too. But wanted to clarify. Okay,
Yeah,
go on,
I mean,
Brad.
the movie's not, like, amazing or anything, but it's a lot of fun.
Right.
I like that
because I liked the movie. I just didn't know how, like, the transfer and all that fun stuff was.
Oh, no, I just like dead prostitutes. That's why I like it.
Is it a little autobiographical?
Kind of, a little
Wow.
bit. So.
This podcast cannot be used in any court of law. I'm going to say that right now, because Brad's lying.
Someone's gonna probably sue you for saying Stigmata's okay.
At least I didn't buy fucking Supernova. I spit all over my microphone saying Supernova. What a piece of shit.
Might as well. Done.
I can't believe Scream Factory picked that up and released it.
All right, so what's on my
Brad.
doorstep is I did a 6-movie marathon watching Stigmata, End of Days, The Order with Heath Ledger,
Yes!
Devil's Advocate, The Ninth Gate, and Lost Souls with the Winona Ryder.
Dude, that sounds like an evening.
Hell of a back-to-back.
Yeah, I'm just kidding. I didn't watch any of those movies.
I would definitely watch
they
all
all
those.
suck just like Stigmata.
Dude, Devil's Advocate's great. Are you kidding me?
Well, Devil's Advocate is, like, okay. But, dude, like, Stigmata...
None of those are good, but...
I mean, End of Days is just completely batshit insane. Like, I'll take End of Days over Stigmata.
Agreed.
But, like, The Order kind of blows...
The Order sucks.
The Order blows. The Ninth Gate is, like, I don't understand. Like, that's the only Polanski movie I do not care for. And then Lost Souls is just complete garbage. Oh, and what was the other one with... Kim Basinger that time, like, Bless the Child.
Yes. Bless the Child, yes.
Oh, Bless the Child is rough.
All those movies, like, came out, like, at once. I mean, I guess Devil Advocate was, like, in 96, but all those movies came out within, like a 3-year period, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on with, like, this religious horror bullshit?
They were all, like, great ideas with just shitty
Dude, that's like an endurance test. Watch all 7 of those movies.
I would totally do it in a second.
You would.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give me some rum and cokes. I'll be good to go.
You gotta do it sober, dude.
No, I don't. I had some drinks with Stigmata. I don't know if I can do that sober.
All right, but for real though.
For reals.
So I watched just a few things. To watch a couple things with Willow. She wanted to watch Big Game because she saw a trailer for the Samuel Jackson Sweden movie. It's the guy that did Rare Exports. So he
oh, cool.
Yeah, it's like Rare Exports. Like all the people from Rare Exports meet Samuel Jackson, but it's like an Americanized, film. But anyways, it's not a great movie, but it's perfect in the 80s sense because I guarantee if this thing was like out in the 80s, it would be one of those childhood favorites because I mean, literally the kid like saves the president and protects him while he's being hunted by his own people. You know, it's really cheesy. It's really corny, but the special effects are actually really decent. for the most part, and it's got some quirky one-liners, but overall, I mean, it's definitely like a fun kids movie. Like I said, it's not great or anything, but it's definitely enjoyable if you like that sort of thing. So it's a weird follow-up for the guy. I can't pronounce his name, but he did Rare Exports, which is a favorite of mine.
It sounds like he's still kind of the same thing, or his action-oriented flick with kids. A darker movie, but with kids. You know what I mean? Or a kid in the big game.
Well, I mean, the kid that's in Big Game is the same kid that's in Rare Exports. Okay. So, like I said, his dad is the same.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, that's awesome though.
Yeah. So it's like almost like a side story, like a prequel to Rare Exports or something, something weird. But anyways,
as long as Samuel L. Jackson doesn't have a lisp in this one.
No, it's a fun movie for what it is. So if you're into like corny action films, like kid-oriented movies from the 80s, you'll definitely at least find it enjoyable. The other one I watched, I want to say great things about this movie, but I really can't find anything great to say about it, was I watched Stung, which is a movie about killer wasps, which I was kind of excited about, but I will give the movie props. Like, every time it gets to use practical effects, it does, and any time that it needs to use CG, it does. So, they really balanced out the two, because they were like, okay, we can totally do practical effects with this thing. We don't need to do CG. So that was a lot of fun. Of course, you have flying wasp everywhere, so those are all CG. But, basically a small wasp attacks a person, and they basically grow an entire gigantic wasp inside of them. And then it attacks well, it sounds it, and it really looks like, from a perspective of standing outside without seeing the movie, you're like, holy shit, this could be a lot of fun.
Well, yeah.
But it's like there's a lot of cool things about it, but it just doesn't hold the interest of being kind of a good movie. It's short, which is fun, but it's very corny and silly at times when I felt like it should have went a different direction of kind of probably being more serious.
So it went the Ticks route.
No, see, I like Ticks.
Okay.
I was hoping it would go something along that route, but it became, I don't want to say, it became too, all the characters were the same. That's what it felt like. Okay. And you couldn't really differentiate between the people. It was just older people and younger people. And you kind of didn't care about anybody for the most part, and you're supposed to. And I think they were trying to really go for that. So you kind of lose interest in that. And then when the wasps start attacking, it just gets boring. It's not very fun. It's like they kind of do, everybody gets stung, and then somebody gets stung, a wasp comes out. It's like, we kind of know the process. Let's just maybe get along with the story a little bit more. But it focuses too much on the transformation and running around to the point where it just becomes kind of tedious, which is kind of upsetting, because the movie looks great. I mean, and it's not a bad movie, but it's very disappointing, because it really felt like they had something going for them, and they just kind of didn't grasp it.
Oh, man. That's a bummer.
But anyways, moving along to a surprisingly decent film, I finally checked out Maggie with Abigail Breslin and Arnold Schwarzenegger, which I was kind of hesitant on, just because I do like Arnold, but seeing him in a drama about a zombie apocalypse, I was kind of like, how is this really going to play out?
Because his dramatic acting in certain movies, especially recent ones, hasn't been that good.
Like what?
There's The Last Stand, when one of the characters gets killed, he just goes, "Oh no, not him."
Well,
it's really horrible.
But I mean, Last Stand is obviously a corny action movie.
Yeah, but no, he tries to get dramatic. It's supposed to be like,
right. But I don't know. I understand what you're saying, because there's one scene in particular in this one where it feels like he's trying a little too hard. But for the most part, Arnold does a pretty fucking good job. Huh. I was pleasantly surprised, and it's actually kind of a really dramatic movie. It's zombie apocalypse has already started. You have a limited time after you're bitten, his daughter is bitten, and you're allowed to have the person that's bitten, like, on your property. You're allowed to keep them and have the last days with them until they're sent to quarantine. Quarantine is supposed to be a beautiful place, but word is that it's really brutal and disgusting, and they just basically throw these people in a room, let them starve until they turn into zombies, and then they start eating each other.
Huh.
That's kind of the rumor that goes around. However, we never really know. It's more or less about the performances and kind of his Schwarzenegger is dealing with his daughter slowly turning. So it's not like an action-packed movie. There's not fucking hordes of zombies. It's not a lot of violence. It's really a drama about this girl's like last few days as a human slowly turning into a zombie. And somebody's and his kind of guilt slash hatred slash just trying to sympathize and also trying to protect her while other people are like, hey, you need to fucking throw her to the wolves, she's done, and try and basically false hope of something happening or changing. So it's not like I wouldn't go out on the limb and say it's fucking amazing or anything, but it's definitely out of nowhere. Like, I was kind of expecting maybe some zombie violence, but it's a strict drama. Like, there's a little bit of you see some zombies, but for the most part, it's a relationship with pretty decent performances. I really got to hand it to Schwarzenegger because it is his movie, and he does a fairly decent job. So, definitely worth seeing. I will say that.
Cool.
And I haven't been able to finish it yet.
I started it the other night and I fell asleep, but I loved what I was watching. I loved it.
Yeah, mine wasn't a bad reason, well, I guess kind of. But there's like the scene where Abigail's with her friends and they're kind of just discussing, because this is this zombie thing is something that's kind of accepted in their culture. And it was just really reminiscent of when I told all my friends I was sick, and I was like, can't do it, not yet, gotta go, bye. And I turned it off.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, this is this could be a trigger warning movie like we were talking about last week, because if anyone's gone through, I thought about that right away as soon as the movie started and he's going to the hospital. I was like, oof, if you've had someone in your life, I have a cousin who has cancer and he's working through beating it right now, and we got some good news today. But I thought about him like the whole movie. BJ, what you've gone through and everything. I thought about you. So it's interesting that this movie kind of parallels that sort of thing. I think it's intentional.
Absolutely, it's totally intentional, and yeah. I think that's awesome that they did that, because it's people that are terminal sort of thing are, that's not the thing no one ever wants to talk about. So I think that's what makes that film so relatable and so, I guess, pleasantly surprising for so many people, is because it is zombie, but it's also very, very close to home for a lot of people. Yeah. And Arnold is, from what I saw, he's great.
Yeah, I was definitely surprised by his performance. Like, it's a side of Arnold that we really haven't seen before. And, he does have a little hiccups here and there, but, I mean, for kind of a, what he comes from, he does a fairly decent job.
Nice.
So, but yeah, it's definitely one of those things that can hit close to home for a lot of people, because obviously, it's definitely a metaphor. So, but anyways.
Cool.
Well, I guess I'll throw in two things. One really quick. I saw the Minions. That sucked.
I avoided that like the plague.
I really hated it.
My kids went with the grandparents.
Yeah. Kids will definitely love it, but man, that movie is not good. Another thing that I was really kind of apprehensive about, because I don't think I've liked a Pixar movie since Up, but Inside Out came out. And,
oh my god, bawling. So sorry.
And I put it off because I was like, man, I just really dislike Pixar. I don't like any of the Toy Story movies, the fucking Cars movies, the Planes movies. Like, all that shit just is, like, awful. So I kind of pushed this one off, but, Willow really wanted to see it. And I have to say, man, it's probably one of the best movies of, like, the past, like, year. It is truly, like, one of a kind and a very, very special movie. Mm-hmm. And also to the point where it truly actually deep down means something. Mm-hmm. And, for anybody that's dealing with, like, depression or just not feeling good, I think this movie can really speak to people. Yeah. It's definitely really, because at first it's all fun and games. When you truly find out the meaning of the movie, it's really quite, like, beautiful in a way,
Dude, Bing Bong for life, man. I get emotional every time I think about Bing Bong.
I was listening to the movie Crip with Joe Lynch and Adam Green this morning, and they were talking about it, and I think they kind of nailed it when they were saying, most Pixar movies are, meant for kids, but they have, there's a little things thrown for adults all the time, and they're like, Inside Out is a movie for adults.
Totally.
That happens to be accessible for children, because the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, this is hitting me way harder than anything. And I'm usually the one who cries during all the Pixar movies. Like, I can't help it. I'm a total sap. But that one just, it wrecked me. Me.
I would look at my kids and get all choked up. My daughter's like, "What's wrong, Daddy?" "Nothing. It's okay."
Yeah, no, it's very, very emotional, really, and just, it's a movie that can, obviously we're, a horror podcast, but, we deal with real life, situations all the time. And, depression is definitely one that comes across a lot of people. So, just speaking to people, like, if you, like, want to see something to really kind of cheer you up and make you feel okay, I think this is definitely something that can speak to a lot of people. This would be a movie that they would show in, like, therapy and shit. Like,
yeah, it's.
I'm probably gonna rewatch it this week because I've just had the week from absolute hell, and nothing has made me feel better. And I was like, I need to go watch something that tells me it's okay to be sad.
Yeah. Don't block out your feelings, because that obvious. But anyways,
it's
not to spoil the movie or anything, but it's definitely a great movie. But talk about really punching your guts and ripping them out and shoving in front of your face, and then someone stomping on them. I watched White God, which I honestly I almost lost for words. I watched the trailer for White God, and I was like, "Oh, sweet, a doggy uprising movie," and then I watched the movie, and I'm like, "Wait a second, the trailer's kind of, like, doesn't really tell you what's going on. Like, this is definitely, like, it's a wonderfully cut trailer, but they hide what the movie's truly about, and it really rips out your soul pretty hard. Because I got the Blu-ray, and then I read the front, and it was like, the unwanted will have their day, and I'm like, well, that's sad. And then we get into the story, and I'm like, holy crap! Like, if it's almost like the same as I mentioned before, is that people don't like doggy death. Like, that's a natural occurrence in horror films today. Like, there's always fucking, the dog is the first to get it by the ghost or fucking goblins or something. And, or just people just kill dogs randomly. I remember last Fantastic Fest, I think there was like 9 films with, dog death, which was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's up with this? This is a film that really, like, if you don't like animal abuse and violence, it's almost to the point where I can't say don't watch it, because it's definitely something that takes that, and puts a somewhat positive spin on it. But at the same time, it's just gut-wrenching. Like, it really, like, fucking, Willow actually, I was like, hey, Willow, want to watch a doggy uprising movie? And we're, like, sitting there, and then shit starts to go down, and she, like, looks over, and she's like, why are you making me watch this?
Oh, God.
And I'm like, yeah, I had no idea, like, it was going to be like this. Like, I was expecting, like, Homeward Bound, like, on drugs.
Yeah. Can you give the basic premise for it? That the trailers, keep it spoiler free, but that the trailer kind of misled?
Well, I think the trailer's cut well to the point of kind of, because, trailers give away too much.
Right.
And I think this did the right thing. It's just a daughter who has her pup, and she goes to stay with her dad for a little while her stepfather and mom kind of go on this work vacation type thing. And nothing but problems happen with the dog. Like, they can't have the dog in the apartment. The dog follows her to music class and kind of gets her in trouble. So the dad's like, fuck it. We're leaving the dog in the middle of nowhere, and we're going to drive off. So, that hurts, because, people have lost pets and stuff like that. So it's like, oh, dog's going to go back to the daughter. Well, so much bad shit happens to this dog, like, to the point where
oh no,
there's like a dog fighting ring that takes place. There is pounds. There's animal abuse. But it's one of the best revenge movies you'll probably ever see, because it gets really fucking crazy. It goes on this, like, it's the dog's movie for a good portion. Like, it follows the dog, but really bad things happen. And, it's definitely a little hard to watch at times, because they really get into detail about kind of like how they train dogs to be dog fighters, in the pit and shit like that. Obviously, and one thing, if anybody has any question, like, they actually put in the front of the film that all the dogs were actually rescues, and they found homes for all of them, like, after the film. So it's obviously cool. The filmmakers truly care about the animals, and that's the whole point of the movie. But it definitely like gets your, like, at the end of the fucking film, the last shot, I was just like, oh my God, oh no, don't cry. And then I just one thing happened, and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ, here we go. Cause I'm a huge dog lover. Yeah. Like, I have 2 dogs myself, and they're both rescues. So, and one of my dogs was heavily abused, and I actually stole it from its owner. Yeah, I did that. No big deal.
Good for you, dude.
I did the same thing back in college.
That's the best kind of theft.
Yep.
Yeah. I was just like, okay, well, this dog isn't going back home. And so, she's probably the greatest, she's definitely a great addition to the family. So, I guess that's another thing that kind of, hit me, is because I knew that she was abused. I knew she was beaten and she wasn't fed and shit like that. So when stuff happens to animals in this movie, it's kind of like, it was like, oh shit, did this happen to my dog? Like, this is really terrible. But anyways, even for animal lovers, it's a great film. For people that, can't take animal abuse, I think it's still watchable. You might cringe or turn away, but it's not over the top, because you have to think that ultimately this film really does care.
Right. It's not exploitation.
Yeah, it doesn't exploit animals. It doesn't push them to, their limits. It's not anything like that. But man, it's truly like an amazing movie. Like, definitely probably in my top 10 for the year.
Cool. Nice.
So anyways, but that's all I got. So definitely check out White God, because it comes out soon.
Awesome.
I just remembered something else that I saw, because I'm on my cancer medication, so my memory is awful. I saw The Gallows this week.
Oh God, The Gallows. I've been hearing nothing but horrible things.
Okay, so here's what happened. So I had a few hours to kill before opening night of a musical that I was doing. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see The Gallows, because it's a horror movie about theater, and there's not very many of those. And I love pretty much every horror movie that's about theater. Even if it's not the greatest movie, I tend to, be really biased and love it. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go see it. So I saw it, and it didn't really, affect me all that much. And then I got to the theater, and I was a little creeped out because all of the imagery was in my head. And I was like, okay, that movie's not that bad. And now that, days have passed, I'm getting angrier thinking about it. I'm like, that movie was shit. Like, that movie was really, really bad. This is it's a paint by numbers, found footage film. Like, I literally think that they took existing found footage films and just said, I like that shot, I like that shot, I like that shot, I like that line. Let's just, it's like a supercut of found footage films just acted out by the same people. It's ridiculous. It's terrible. But the reason that I think I'm the most angry about it is that theater superstitions are so creepy and so weird to begin with. I mean, the actual name for the light that's left on in the middle of the stage at nighttime when theaters close is called a ghost light, because it's so that the ghosts have something to see, so then they don't fuck with your stuff in the theater afterwards. Like, that's crazy. And then, good luck means bad luck, and, break a leg means good luck, and you don't say Macbeth when you're in a theater, or you're cursed. And there's, like, all this crazy mythology within the theater, and they totally sucked at conveying any of it. I'm like, you know what, damn it, because now people aren't going to see that as, oh, looks like found footage is dead, because damn well they're going to all be, we're still going to have found footage movies because it's a cheap way to make film, so it's going to keep happening. But now they're going to be like, oh, I guess people just don't like theater superstitions. Let's not do that anymore. Back to super rich white people apartments that are haunted. No, you fuckers. The gallows, you ruined it. You ruined it. You blew it. That's all I had on that.
Wow.
I'm still excited to see it.
I forgot one movie, too.
Oh, God.
Really quick. Me and my kids, I've been trying to find a decent copy of Little Monsters with Fred Savage and,
I love it.
Howie Mandel. And, I couldn't find it. Like, it's not on DVD, or it's on DVD, but it's not on Blu-ray, but you can buy an HD copy for like $7. So I was like, shit, I'm buying Little Monsters, and I bought it, and
no, it's out of print, right? The DVD.
I think so, yeah. But I bought the HD version, and I watched it with my kids, and they had a blast. Like, I miss these dark children's movies because it's a dark flick. It's not that good, but it's enjoyable. I mean, Howie Mandel's trying his damnedest Beetlejuice impersonation, but I love just how dark it is, And my kids were scared at certain times, especially when the monsters first introduced, and it was really fun watching it with the kids. So this kind of transitions into what I want to talk about next. Because this was like the first, other than We Are Still Here, this was my second all-digital purchase. And this one I was kind of forced because there was no physical media to buy. We Are Still Here, it was like $9, and Blu-ray's not out yet, so I bought it to support the film. And then Brad, you and I have been seeing Brian Sauer kind of posting on Twitter. He's like trying to get all these UV codes and trying to trade UV codes and
going batshit insane with UV codes,
crazy. And we're like, what the hell is going on? So I dropped him a line, and he's converting his collection into a digital collection. And he's kind of going through, I think, all of his movies and seeing what's available on Vudu and UV ultraviolet or whatever. He's using Vudu as the hub, but he's going through. And you can upgrade your DVDs to HD. If you do 10 or more, it's $2.50 a disc. If you do just a couple, like one or two, it's like $5. So you kind of want to get 10 at a time if you can. So he's been kind of slowly doing that, and I also wanted to get your guys' thoughts on that because I thought about it, and I'm actually thinking about kind of going through and at least finding all my DVDs to start with that have no special features or just shit special features and upgrading them to HD because there's no Blu-rays inside, or I don't want to spend $8 to $10 on a new, to replace it because it's, there's no special features or it's bare bones. So I've started to do that. I can't talk right now. But I've been fighting it for so long, and now that ultraviolet is kind of, I feel like people are getting it more. A lot more movies are coming with the ultraviolet code. It's easy to use if you plug it into an app or a website like Vudu. I think Vudu is, for me, the simplest. So I've tried a couple other ones that are just shit. And so I tried it out. I grabbed 10 comedies that have no special features or anything, and I have I don't want to get the HD copy. Or there's no Blu-ray available, like Idiocracy doesn't have a Blu-ray, but now I have it in HD. What are your guys' thoughts on that? Do you guys see, I mean, Brad, you have a huge collection. Do you see yourself going all digital, or what?
Nope, never. I'll never go digital.
Never?
Nope. Nope.
All right. BJ, how about you?
It's really easy for me.
I'm somewhere in the middle with that. I don't think that I'll ever save things digitally. Like, don't get me wrong, I love watching things digitally. I love the streaming services that exist because I live in Ohio, so I don't get a lot of the movies that I want to see in theaters, and the only way that I can see them is through video on demand. So I will rent a lot of things that way, but I never purchase them. And the main reason that I don't is because I, like Brad, have a very, very large and extensive collection. And I'm also a bit of a completist, so if I have everything in a physical format, I'm going to want to have everything in a digital format, and I just do not have the fucking space on my computer to save those things.
But that's the thing about Ultraviolet.
Right, it's online.
It's all on the cloud, and you can download it if you want, or you can stream it. So that's I've been waiting for something like that.
Nice. Which is kind of nice, but I don't know if I ever could, because it would just frustrate me, because I'm the type of person that, you know, something will remind me of a film and I'll go, oh my God, yeah, I have this, and I'll go home and I'll grab it and I give it to him, and I'll want to do that with digital. I'm like, shit, no, I have a hard copy, or wait, do I have it digitally, or wait, do I have it this way? Just the organization of it all would just drive me fucking crazy. So if I keep everything physical, then it's that way. I mean, I love saying, hey, I know this is available on video on demand or on Netflix, check it out. But as far as for my own purposes, I'm gonna, you know, keep media as long as possible.
It has a ways to go. I think this is the first time that I've actually even considered it. The whole thing I would think about is lending. Apparently, you can share your Vudu account and your Ultraviolet collection with up to 5 people.
Yeah.
Something like that. But I think the one thing keeping a lot of people would be sharing that film with someone else, letting someone, because my wife and I will lend out movies to close friends, here and there, and we're known, like, if someone wants to borrow a movie, everyone knows they can come to us because of my collection. So, but for all the, like, for me, for all the kind of middling stuff, or stuff that I like, or stuff that is nostalgic that I know everyone's seen, and maybe they're not, you know, streaming anywhere yet, like, I can see myself going through, getting all my bare bones DVDs and bare bones Blu-rays and just getting those physical copies out of my collection onto the cloud. I'm totally fine with that. The one thing,
and that makes total sense.
Yeah.
I think that that's actually a pretty smart way to do it. But I also think, though, that there are so many movies the movies that I would want to watch are the ones that would more than likely have special features and things.
Yes.
So those are the things that I would want to be able to have mobily, or, you know, on the cloud or wherever, but, you know, then I wouldn't have all the fun stuff with it.
Well, today I kind of separated, I went through my comedies because those are the ones that I don't really upgrade to Blu-ray anyway. And I think I only have like 20 out of all my comedies, 20 that were bare bones or just had kind of bullshit, you know, bloopers. And those I went through, and even like all of those weren't available. Like no MGM titles are available on Ultraviolet. But everything else had, you know, commentaries by the directors and comedians and stuff like that I was like, even though this is kind of a dumb movie, like this, I like this writer, or I like this director, and one point I'm probably going to want to hear them talk about this movie someday, you know, so I'm going to hold on to that disc. So yeah, until they really, you know, rival, I guess, what's available on these, you know, in special features, I think right now the way I'm doing it is the way to go. I'm not going crazy. I think Brian, and I wanted to try to get him on, but he wasn't available to talk about what he's doing. But it sounds like he's trying to do his whole collection and then go from there. So anyway, but I think we're getting closer to an actual possibility, because I can see myself, if they can transfer over all the special features, you know, everything, make it digital, maybe I do it. But then again, you know, what if shit goes down and all I got is a generator and a TV and my Blu-ray player, you know?
Yeah, but you're also not putting in the fact that Vudu might not be around forever. What if Vudu goes out of business?
Well, it's Ultraviolet,
right.
So they're all linked to Ultraviolet.
I know Ultraviolet is that, but also everything?
Yeah, so you can sign in, like if you go to any streaming service, like Vudu, any streaming rental service, that will sync up to your Ultraviolet. Like all these sync up to Ultraviolet if it's available. That's the small print.
Yeah, if it's available.
on ultraviolet, and most.
And how many movies can this store?
An unlimited amount.
I don't think that's true.
It's all on the cloud.
I don't think that's true.
You basically are saying, "Hey, I own this movie, and it's available like offline." You know, like I said, I think there's some kinks to work out, but it's. I think this is the closest we've gotten to actually it being feasible for people to have all digital collections in the future. And I know a lot of people they'll buy their newer movies on Vudu or whatever because it'll be cheaper, and they don't care about special features. So
I'll probably end up doing kind of a both sort of thing. I mean, I have my iTunes collection and all that fun stuff, but everything that I have on iTunes, I own as physical media as well.
Yeah. Storing it is
probably be like that. Yeah, the storage
I hated
is
iTunes.
the issue.
I never digital copies in iTunes. I was like, that's bullshit. Like, you know, that's storage. That's all this, you know, stuff to manage. That's what I like about Vudu or Ultraviolet is it's all in the cloud. You basically you're staking claim that you own that movie, and yeah, as long as Ultraviolet doesn't go out of doesn't just stop being working or gets abandoned, we're cool. But that's the thing I'm worried about too. Like, what if all of a sudden
what if it does? I mean,
some news service comes up? What do you do then? Do you transfer? It's okay.
Or what if you know?
I'm gonna go crazy thinking about it now.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, you have Amazon Instant. You have like Cinema Now.
Yeah.
You have Google Play.
Cinema Now syncs with Ultraviolet, so you're fine there. But
you have iTunes, Vudu, Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix can put any of these people out of business if they started doing that.
Right.
Yeah. No question.
Like you have way too many powers that easily they would not be able to compete. And I mean, I'm not super techie when it comes to bandwidth, but dude, how much does that like take up? And how much like what if
it doesn't take up anything because it's all on the cloud and you stream it?
Right. So what if someone attacks your cloud? What if
you're fucked.
What if Anonymous was like, ha ha ha?
Yeah, they hack Ultraviolet.
We like physical media, so we are going to attack your the cloud. I mean, I hate using the word the cloud because I think it sounds stupid. But what if something happens? What if that crashes and they don't retain any of your information?
You're exactly, and that's the one thing keeping me from all digital everything for sure.
Yeah, so that's why. I mean, honestly, yeah, it's not about like storage and stuff. It's about accessibility,
right?
You know, and plus, dude, I can't even tell you how many times. Like, I have a really great connection at home, for the most part, and I like the streaming that the HD quality always goes down.
Yeah.
And one thing that always bothers me is that when I stream anything, online, or if I rent anything on Amazon or watch anything on Netflix, the sound is pure shit compared to a Blu-ray.
Right.
Like it might be quote unquote 5.1 or 7.1, but I can have my receiver up to 50, and you can hear it, but a lot of it's soft. But then you put in a Blu-ray at 50 and your fucking walls fall down.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So,
there's things to consider. And for me, it's strictly I'm upgrading DVD.
Yeah. The only benefit is that certain movies are available in HD.
Right.
That are just on DVD and the storage. But there's way too many cons.
Yeah.
To all that. And that's not being a physical media guy. That's just being logical.
No, totally. And I agree. And that's why I'm using this in limited fashion, kind of seeing how it goes. I'm probably going to upgrade most of my, like I said, bare bones DVDs, and I'll unload those. Because most of those are movies. I mean, those are movies like, that they're okay, and they'll end up streaming somewhere or cheap somewhere. These are not high-priced movies at all. This is stuff like Fletch or, like Idiocracy, things like that, Yeah,
so. I mean, I think the whole UV code thing is great when you buy a Blu-ray and then you can have it on the go. That's how I look at it.
Yes, totally.
I don't look at it as like, oh shit, I got a UV code, I'm going to get rid of my Blu-ray now.
No,
I look at it as like, hey, I'm on a fucking plane, I can watch one of my movies that I bought that I don't have, or
exactly.
I'm on vacation, I want to show my kids this movie. I look at it like that. I don't look at it as a replacement or an alternative. I look at it as an additional copy of the movie, just the same thing as it was on DVD or anything like that.
Yep.
But it's just there's way too many, unless they could guarantee that that's going to be around forever, then I might buy into it. But the thing is, dude, is that companies will sell shit in a heartbeat, and then they'll buy it, and then people will just shut it down. And, Walmart owns Vudu, I think, and that's one company I do not trust. Because, if Netflix started selling movies like that, then bye-bye.
Oh, totally. Netflix decides, hey, we're going to do our own service that you can rent. You can actually rent movies from digitally. I'm surprised they haven't done that, by the way.
That's probably their next step.
Yeah, especially with like how Amazon Instant Video runs, and because now Netflix is cutting deals with like TV shows and Adam Sandler just to do specific ones. Like Netflix is the end all, kind of the be all end all of streaming right now, and they would put any of these companies out as a business if they wanted to. Yeah, it might be on your cloud, but what if what if something happens? It's very unpredictable. So that's why, I'm not if you're doing it, it's not like I think you're stupid.
Like I said, I'm not, dude,
I'll never ever do it.
I would never and most of these probably aren't available, but I would never replace my Samurai Cop Blu-ray that I just got. You know what I mean? Things like that. I would never replace my Arrow Pit Stop Blu-ray, there's
just plugging movies.
There's certain movies, and I haven't, there's certain movies that are, Criterion's The Fisher King, there's certain movies that I would never want to replace. I want those things because the physical copy has so much more to offer than just the movie, and that's where I kind of draw the line.
I get it. Like bare bones, like MGM DVDs.
Bare bones bullshit.
You upgrade.
Yeah.
But,
like I said, MGM not available, nothing available on MGM.
It's the same thing as if that shit is down and you just want to watch one of the movies, and then
God, it's happened before.
Yeah, it's just it's happened so much to me, and I have a pretty decent connection for the most part, and I have just so much trouble with streaming in general.
I just wasted money. Now I'm pissed off that I did it.
No, I don't want to discourage anybody. If that's your thing, that's your thing. But I honestly. No one right now can say that is a good idea.
Agreed. Yeah.
I would never replace there's definitely some pros to it, but it's not a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm cool. And plus, I'm biased because I'm a big physical media guy, but, and I like looking at it on the shelf. Looking on the screen doesn't mean anything because you can look up movies on Netflix. You don't own them.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yep.
But anyways, that's
there's definitely pros and cons for sure. And I can never at this point would never imagine replacing my collection. I think right now I'm in streamline mode. I'm kind of every year I go through a purge streamline because I buy way too many movies as it is. And every year I get a reality check and I'm like, God, I need to streamline things. So this is part of that process. That way I can get rid of some of these movies, but still, in a sense, own them.
Yeah.
But all the special ones I'm keeping. All this stuff that I love and would love to look at on a shelf and show off, I'm definitely keeping.
I'm unfamiliar with because I obviously don't do it. I rent movies on Vudu all the time to watch them, but I don't own anything.
Yeah.
So if I have those little pieces of paper that come in a Blu-ray that have a UV code, where it says UV, DV or whatever it says.
Yeah.
If I use that shows up on Vudu then?
Yep, you sync up your account and then you can do redeem ultraviolet copy through Vudu and it goes there, but any other service that you've connected to ultraviolet, you can see all those movies.
That's pretty cool.
So that's
I guess I'll eventually use that because if you're sitting there and you don't want to get up, you could easily just pop something in there,
Yeah,
but whatever.
For me right now,
I think
it's anything kind of main. Well, for me, it's anything mainstream. All these oddities that we love to collect, those start sticking physical media. My stuff's anything, and I guarantee half the stuff that I just paid for upgrading, I'll bet you I can go to right now to Netflix and it'll be there. So, it's almost like I just wasted money. But,
and that's another thing that Netflix is really bad at is that
stuff disappears.
Their movie library is 500,000 movies, but only 12 show up when you're looking through its menu.
It's just horrible.
It drives me nuts.
Yeah. What were we going to say, BJ?
No, what I was going to say is that, since Brad and I seem to be on kind of the same page with all of this, I think that it'll be a service that you and I use but it won't be like well, I guess for you too, Sean, I don't think that it'll ever be anyone's like main form of, collecting their films. But then again, like, my sister doesn't buy DVDs. She downloads everything, and she's only 3 years younger than me. So I think this might be, the newer generation, their kind of way of doing things, which if it bites them in the ass, if like the cloud gets hacked or whatever, then I mean, I guess that's on them. But I don't know, maybe it'll be similar to the way music was, where it went like everything was digital for a while, but now physical is coming back. I think maybe the same thing will happen with film. I don't think the physical is ever going to go away, but I think there's going to be a big resurgence where everyone's going to want everything to be digital, and then it's going to go away because people are going to be sick of it. Yeah,
well, it's kind of like me with records. Like, I collect records, and if a new band's album comes out and it's not available streaming anywhere, like I'm trying out the iTunes Music thing or even on Spotify. If it's not available there, or if I want to support the band, I'll buy the record and it comes with a download code, and then I download that and I sync it up to my iTunes cloud, and we're good to go. But I have the record, and if I have a choice, I will definitely be throwing on the record. And I think the same thing it's the same thing, same kind of mindset with my movies. Like, I would love to have everything available digitally for the convenience, but nothing will replace just the fun of having the collection.
It'll never be able to touch the quality the same way that vinyl will never, or digital will never be able to match the same quality as vinyl. I mean, wasn't it last year that vinyl had, a bigger percentage than CDs did?
Yeah.
Like,
it was crazy. But it's fun. It's like the artwork. It's the whole package, right? Physical media. It's the artwork. I love getting a new record and looking at just the gigantic artwork right there, and just the feel of it. You own something, and same thing with my movies. So I kind of like that we're gearing more towards a collector's, market with some of these movies, because the packaging is just so fun. Like, I love when they put the extra detail into the packaging, like what Arrow does, and I'm with some of the things, like the Society Blu-ray is just super fun to own,
Which is out of print now.
Out of print, suckers.
Yep.
Missed it.
Well, I mean, it's still cheap, but it's definitely...
Get it while you can.
Definitely out.
Get it while you can.
But see, the downfall of this, man, is that the people that are contributing to this digital shit, that's going to make that market for Blu-rays and DVDs just skyrocket into where we're paying $40 for a movie now, which we kind of already are.
I don't know.
It's happening right now. It's happening right now. Like,
well, I think that the other thing to come into play though is that that'll happen for something like Paranormal Activity 12 or whatever, but sort of this niche market is always, the people who want those films are always going to be people who want them physically. Like, the people who are, like my sister, who do nothing but download their films, she's not going to, want a film like Society because she doesn't give a shit.
Right.
Like, Jonah Hill's not in it, so why would she care?
Exactly, yeah.
But the people who do want Society, they want the hard copy, they want the special features, they want everything. Yeah. So I don't think that it's going to jump as much. I think a little bit of it, especially for films that will be, like, mass released. I think those will see a price increase. But kind of these, the resurgence and the reprints of older stuff, I don't think are going to jump that much.
No, it's just interesting to see. I saw it with music back when music started going all digital. I'm starting to see that now there's something that at least works and is convenient. Up till now, when Ultraviolet was first released, it was a pain in the ass. iTunes was a pain in the ass, and I never used that. And now Ultraviolet, in conjunction with some of these other websites, I think we're starting to see the beginnings of kind of these services reaching out to people who enjoy film and want to have a collection somewhere. But it's going to be a long time before I don't think digital is ever going to replace everything. I hope not. I really hope not. And I show my kids how cool it is to own a book and to own. They get it. They get the physical stuff, but they also download video games and stuff like that too. So it'll be interesting to see. So that's all. That's all I had to say about that.
Moving along to the next topic.
Next topic. So like I said, Comic-Con happened this weekend, And just like last year, Scream Factory had a bunch of announcements that they wanted to get to. And last year they had all their major stuff announced before. Like, they had already had the Halloween box set announced and things like that. And I think last year nothing was super surprising. Was there any major surprises last year?
Dude, I don't even remember.
Like, they announced, like, Invaders from Mars or whatever and other things like that.
Mad Max and Escape from New York and shit.
Yeah, and I remember being disappointed when I saw I was like, oh, okay, another Mad Max, another Escape from New York. But this year they had another announcement, and for me, like, what I liked about it was there was a lot of movies that I haven't seen yet, and it'll be fun to discover those. There are some movies I've heard of, some I haven't, and then there's some ones that I've kind of been wanting on Blu-ray that they announced. So, I'm just going to read down the list and we can talk about each one. Brad, I think you'll have most to say. Is that all right? You'll have
that's
I'm good. I'm happy.
Are you happy? Are you sure?
No, not really.
What do you want? Do you want to do something else instead? You have another idea?
Just do whatever.
You're so tired. You're so grumpy when you're tired.
Brad's so tired. And then we can possibly bring up the Arrow announcements after this.
Oh, great.
Possibly. Highlights. We'll do highlights for Arrow. So the first one that Scream Factory announced was Women's Prison Massacre.
I'm so into it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so into it.
I'm a fan of women's prison movies for sure. So this one, I've heard of the movie but have not seen it. But they didn't say if these are going to be collector's editions or anything like that, did they?
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know which ones are going to be collector's editions?
Garbage Pail Kids, I think, and Return of the Living Dead.
Spoiler alert! I haven't got to those yet.
And that's it.
Okay. So, Women's Prison Massacre, 1983 film directed by Bruno Mattei, and I'm excited because it's a Mattei I have not seen yet. So, super pumped for it.
Okay.
You have
super
nothing,
into it.
You have nothing else
I'm
to say
super
about
into it. I am a total obsessor over women in prison films or anything to that effect. Another movie I forgot to mention that I watched. I watched Bad Girls Dormitory for the first time, and it was so good. So yeah, I'm really excited about Women's Prison Massacre. So excited.
Awesome. All right. Next is a 1971.
I'm excited about it.
I know you are.
But no one wants to ask me.
Well, you didn't sound like you wanted to talk too much about it, so.
No, I mean it's cool that it's going to be released on Blu-ray, and it's weird that Scream Factory is picking it up, but we'll see if they actually release it.
Yeah, you're right. That is a title that I wouldn't. If somebody was like, hey, guess who's releasing Women's Prison Massacre? I would not think.
Yeah, I would think like maybe
Factory
Severin or Synapse would be releasing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's definitely some, there's razor blade vaginas in this movie, so we'll see.
Yep, there
Hopefully they have all the rights and everything cleared before they announce these things.
Nope.
Moving along. We'll see what happens. What was the one that they released? Hellgate or something like that?
Hellhole.
Hellhole.
They didn't release it.
Right, I know. They didn't get a release at all. All right. Next up, not to be confused with Blood and Black Lace, Blood and Lace, 1971
Super
film.
into this one, too.
Being released as a Philip Gilbert film. And Blood and Lace. Now, I have no idea what this movie is.
Any physical media ever.
It's never had any release. Okay.
I don't believe so.
Mm-mm.
No.
What's this one? What's this one about, Brad?
It's about prostitutes.
Okay.
And it's like kind of a slasher who, well, not really. It's like Hammer, going around killing people with a hammer. I do remember that. I saw it long time ago.
Cool.
But I know it's about a girl that's sent to an orphanage that...
The orphanage is pretty much like a
brothel,
internment
right?
camp. It's like a... yes.
Because
I always...
Well, I was saying. Well, I guess it's more or less like a concentration camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They run it like an internment camp. Like it's really awful. Like the way that if you were to take kind of the situation with like mommy and daddy and people under the stairs and like amp it up to about 1 million, it's like that.
Yeah. Because like the people that run it is the woman and then the dude that fixes up shit.
Yeah, her handyman, and they're like sadists.
Yeah, and they're fucking crazy. So but it's been one of those things. I saw this like years and years and years ago, like a bootleg like VHS that someone made from
Yep, that's how I saw it too.
And it's just I'm excited to visit again, but I can't remember too much about it other than it being very violent at times and really weird. It's just another one that's like, what? Like, Scream Factory is getting into like nitty gritty films now, which is kind of exciting to see.
Yeah, I'm really into it. I think that's a great market for them to tap into.
Very cool. Next up, they announced 1986's Troll. Now, this is the first Troll film that has nothing to do with Troll 2. And I had a combo pack, Troll and Troll 2 on DVD.
Wasn't it? But isn't the rumor going around that they're doing both together?
I don't know. They only announced
as a double
Troll.
feature.
I haven't heard that, but I'm excited if that happens.
That would be fantastic. That would be great. But
I think
Troll 2
announced,
does have a Blu-ray already.
But I think it isn't the first one.
No. Nope.
Are you sure?
Yep.
What the fuck do I have on my shelf? Just Troll 2?
Troll 2 has a Blu-ray. Troll does not.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I thought for certain that it was kind of secretly said that they're doing both, but I could be wrong.
I'm looking up. I'm kind of Googling right now, and trying to see if.
I guess it would make sense that they didn't because
Shout Factory tweeted out Troll/Troll 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Like they announced just the first one.
Yeah,
but
that'd be great. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I think they slapped the other one in there. So I don't know if it will have. I don't think it's going to put best worst movie in it, but right. It's already.
That would be amazing.
That would be like an epic box set right there. That'd be great.
Well, that would be
great. But that's what the other Blu-ray has, right? They actually have the documentary of best worst movie in there.
I don't own it, so I wouldn't know.
I don't think so. I don't know.
Oh,
but that would be fantastic. But
I'll look it up.
I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, so Troll is announced and possibly Troll 2, and what I'm seeing is I think. They did confirm Troll and Troll 2.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
They confirmed that on July 10th.
Yeah.
3 days ago. So, fantastic. Great. But yeah, if they can somehow get Best Worst Movie on there, that would be like the most epic set ever.
Yeah, they need a commentary with all those people because that's fucking hilarious.
That'd be fantastic. All right, so next up is Ghost Story.
Ooh.
1981.
Ooh.
Written by John Irvin and starring Fred Astaire. Fred Astaire?
Yes, Fred Astaire's in it.
Wow. This is one that I haven't heard of course.
It's a novel. It's a book by Peter Straub. You should know of it. Just saying.
I don't know. So this is released, and they didn't say if this is going to be a collector's edition or not. It's just going to be put onto Blu-ray.
Yeah, this is definitely something to watch. I had 3 copies of this on VHS.
Oh, nice.
So it was just one of those things that are always bought just to give to people. But it's definitely a slower movie, but it's very brain fart. I have just trying to be clever with my words, but I totally fucking failed and sound like a fucking dick like usual. But it's very atmospheric.
Cool.
It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
It's more or less kind of on. I almost would compare it a little bit to like Hammer horror in a way, but not as artsy.
Okay.
I don't know. It feels like Legend of Hell House or The Haunting and stuff like that to me. That's how I look at it. But yeah, It's definitely Fred Astaire's in it, which is hilarious. But yeah, it's definitely, I kind of grew up on it, so it's more or less nostalgia to me. But it's not, I wouldn't say it's a great film.
Okay.
Like, don't go in and think you're going to be scared to death. It's very slow, but it's still a good movie.
Cool. All right, next up, they are releasing the Ashton Kutcher, Kevin Costner film, The Guardian. No, wait. Andrew Davis directing.
God,
that's the wrong one. Sorry, hold on.
You're terrible.
Hold
You're
on.
the worst.
Learn to read.
They're doing it's the William Friedkin film,
Yeah.
1990, The Guardian. I'm excited about this because William Friedkin is the freaking man, and this is one of his films I haven't seen yet. So I think I've seen most of his films. So I'm pretty pumped to see this. What's the story in this one?
It's okay. I mean, I'm excited that it's coming out on Blu-ray, but I mean, it's a fun movie. It's some sexy time. There's some sexy time in it.
Didn't Friedkin try to smithy himself with this one?
I don't remember.
Oh gosh, I have to look it up. I'm almost positive Friedkin tried to Alan Smithy himself away from this. Which I love things like that.
I think you're right. But it was, I think, later on.
Well, this is one that's not talked about for sure, and he's pretty vocal about a lot of his films.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, well, being that this is not a collector's edition, I'm pretty sure he's totally against this.
More than likely. This is probably the one in his filmography that the most that he wishes people didn't pay attention to. But I know a lot of people who are really, like, diehard about this movie.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of the same thing with Michael Mann and The Keep. He wants nothing to do with that, but I'm a fan of The Keep.
I fucking love
that
The
thing
Keep.
That thing needs a Blu-ray release, and I was hoping that they would announce.
Nope.
You know, but
why do you
damn
think
it.
that's going to happen?
I don't know, man.
Why do you give false hope to people?
Look, The Keep needs to come out on Blu-ray, and so does the sci-fi flick Arena needs to come out on Blu-ray because that movie.
Yeah, but that's already
is
on
badass.
DVD.
Yeah, exactly. At least I got the DVD of that. All right, moving along here. The anthology film Nightmares from 1983. This one I'm pretty pumped
Super
about.
excited.
Equally as excited.
I've heard a lot about this one, and I'm a fan of anthology films, so I'm excited for this to come out. And did they say when these are going to be released, like September, October? Or
Yeah, I think everything's kind of like November and early 2016.
Damn it, because Nightmares would be fun for my yearly Halloween binge. So that's when I bring out most of the anthology films, is in October.
I'll let you borrow my VHS.
I'll find it on YouTube. Don't worry about it.
Wow, that's fucked up.
I'm kidding.
You
no,
know,
man, I'm waiting for. I want my first experience to be
I don't like your
with on Blu-ray.
jokes. I don't like your jokes.
I don't care
Today.
I don't care at all.
Well, Nightmares.
I don't
is a lot
like
of
your
fun
jokes any day.
because this means that I'm getting 2 films in HD from Screen Factory that has Christina Rains in it. So, and she's like my favorite thing ever. So, yeah, you're welcome, people. I mean, yeah, she's just in a segment, but fucking Christina Rains is in it, so I don't know what else you need. She's in the Terror in Topanga episode, I think. But yeah, Nightmares is it's 4 segments about with urban legends, basically.
Awesome.
So yeah, actually Lee Ving is in it from Fear, who's also in Streets of Fire. Emilio Estevez is in it. Some other people too. Like, you'll definitely see a lot of people that are very, very familiar. I think Lance Hendrickson's in it too. I'm trying to
of course,
think. I should have been prepared. But anyways, definitely a lot of fun. And like I said, Christina Rains. Just Google Christina Rains and tell me if you're not just taken.
I just did.
So we have The Sentinel coming out with her and Nightmare, so I'm pretty excited.
Cool. Next up, this was already released on Arrow a couple years back, The Car from 1977, starring James Brolin.
I love The Car.
Yeah, The Car is fucking fantastic.
So this will be great. It's finally going to get a domestic release, because I think the Arrow one's region locked for all of you who still, for some reason, don't own a region-free player.
Yeah, and the DVD's been out of print for a while.
Yeah.
Over here, so.
We just found a VHS unopened, like still factory sealed clamshell of the car,
nice.
And it's beautiful, and I don't want to open it.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's like Christine on crack. It's like Duel meets Christine in a way. Like, it has the cinematography of Duel, but it has kind of the meanness of Christine. So it's just a lot of fun.
And it still has it has the good old 1970s PG. So
yeah, but it's a tough PG.
It is a tough PG. You're right. Do either of you? Because I know you both have children. Do either of you watch the show on Cartoon Network, Regular Show?
No.
No.
Okay, so it's one of the cartoons it's like an Adventure Time cartoon where it's, not really for kids, but it kind of can be. But they have an entire episode that pays homage to the car. And the fact that there is a children's cartoon on right now that's paying homage to the car is super fucking cool. I think Willow is probably old enough for it. I don't know about your kids, Sean, but it's hilarious because it's totally a joke that only, nerd parents are gonna get, but the whole episode is about the car, and it's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's one of those, like, I guess they call them road movies, but, stuff like, what's the movie with, is it Stacy Keach and Jamie Lee Curtis? Road Games? Like Road Games, Duel, Badlands, The Car. They all have that feel like backroads, like Texas type feel. And I just always really dug, those types of movies. And also I even considered Kidnapped the Kidnapped Rabid Dogs movie by Bava, but always considered that a road movie too. But yeah, definitely this is one of probably my favorite Arrow releases back in the day. So I would just pick up the Arrow because they're obviously going to do MGM bullshit.
Yes. MGM bullshit. All right, here we go. Moving along. We done with the car?
Yeah,
it's already out.
Yep.
I think most of our listeners probably have already bought the Arrow Blu-ray. So if you haven't bought the Arrow Blu-ray and you're holding out for domestic release, boom, Scream Factory's got you covered. All right, moving along. I'm actually kind of excited about this one. Death Becomes Her, 1992, starring Meryl Streep, Bruce Willis, Goldie Hawn, directed by Robert Zemeckis.
This is the one that I am the most excited for out of that whole batch. The noises that came out of my mouth were not human when they announced Death Becomes Her. I fucking love this movie.
It's such a dark, mean, kind of a mean-spirited comedy. You know what I mean? It's a bit. I remember it being very dark. I was pretty young when I saw it, and I remember thinking I shouldn't be watching this.
It is everything that I love about movies. It's gruesome and campy and funny and tongue-in-cheek and sexy and so wrong on so many levels. And you can't go wrong with any movie that puts Goldie Hawn in a fat suit, even for a couple of minutes. It's so fucking funny. And Meryl Streep is, oh God, she's so great. Like, obviously Meryl Streep is great in everything. Like, she's Meryl Streep. But this is my favorite role she's ever played because it's so not a Meryl Streep role, and she treats it as if, she's going for the Oscar, and it's great. There's no one dialing in this film, regardless of how insane the story and the subject matter is. But it's great. It's the best that Goldie Hawn's ever been as well. Bruce Willis is weird because he has hair in it, and I don't know how I feel about that.
This is back when he had hair, the Die Hard days.
It's weird. I don't like it. It's weird. But no, Death Becomes Her is one of my all-time favorite movies, so I cannot freaking wait.
Brad, what do you think? How do you feel about Death Becomes Her?
I'm excited about it. I haven't seen it since I was little.
Yeah, I saw this in the theater.
I just remember someone having a hole in them.
Yeah.
Yeah, Goldie Hawn has a hole in her stomach.
I saw it was 92
so
when this
good.
came out, so I was pretty young, because I graduated in 96. So, but like I said, I remember seeing it in the theater, and I think I'd gone to the theater I got dropped off at the theater, and I went and saw it, and I remember watching it going, like, I shouldn't, like, my parents would not want me seeing this right now. Is what was going through my brain, and I loved it, and I'm excited. It's been years since I've seen this, so I'll be excited to check this out.
That was one of the movies that my mom introduced to me. I wouldn't say too young in life by any means, because Death Becomes Her is a film that I would label under transitionary horror.
Yeah.
Films that are kind of like Gremlins, where, yeah, there are moments that are a little mean-spirited and pretty tough, but ultimately, like, it's not super scary where, like, that's not a film that's going to give you nightmares, but it's going to give you just enough of the horror elements that it's going to be kind of creepy and unsettling, but it's still really fun.
Yeah.
So that's a movie that I definitely would show to, a preteen and have no qualms about it. I mean, there are some titties in that movie. That is something to keep in mind. Yeah, there are titties.
How'd I block those out?
But that's the other thing, though, too, is that then that gets back to the whole weird society of, like, we're totally cool with, gore and violence, but heaven forbid boobs. But yeah, I grew up in a household that was very like, guess what? Everyone has them. They're called breasts, mother, and every woman has them.
Yeah. All right, moving along. This is one that I've never seen, and I'm super excited to finally see it. It's the Garbage Pail Kids movie. I don't know how this missed my radar. I know that when it came out, I was not allowed to see it. I was not allowed to collect Garbage Pail Kids cards.
What?
Right, and I loved them. I love those damn things. And I never got around to watching the Garbage Pail Kids movie. I know that it was on DVD. Is the DVD out of print?
I believe so.
One time I finally wanted to frickin' buy the thing, and the DVD was like $50. So I'm excited to now finally get to watch this. I'm not expecting a really good movie at all. And all I know is that they're these weird puppet kid things.
I think it's like known as it's on the top 100 worst movies ever.
I think you're right.
Oh man, I can't wait.
It's been on oh god.
It's a parody of Cabbage Patch, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they are.
I have never seen anything with Garbage Pail Kids because I saw a little bit of kind of the cards, and I was like, nope. So I've never seen this. I literally don't know what it's about, and I don't know if I'll watch it.
I think you should.
It's something that I have absolute zero interest in.
I think it's fun, but
those cards are just
they're so
funny.
awesome. They're so awesome.
The cards are though, right, Brad?
Yeah, I mean, I know what it is. I know the movie exists, but I don't ever I never wanted anything to do with it.
The movie just seems weird because the cards are kind of funny, but making a movie based on those cards, I don't know.
Well, the thing that they screwed up on, well, I wouldn't say that they screwed up on it, but they made the Garbage Pail Kids movie live action, which the effects are notoriously horrid. They're really bad, and I commend them for the effort of trying to do it practical, but I think that the Garbage Pail Kids as a movie would have done much better had it been kind of like Happy Tree Friends animation, because that works when you have the juxtaposition of cute animation and really gross stuff happening. It makes total sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Garbage Pail Kids movie is pretty poorly written. But I have a funny story with the Garbage Pail Kids cards. So obviously the Garbage Pail Kids cards came out long before, my time, or at least until I was old enough to appreciate them. They had already been out for, 10, 15 years. But a year and a half ago, I got some of them from a flea market, and the cards, they used to always come with the gum. Dinosaurs Attack cards and Mars Attacks cards and Garbage Pail Kids, they all came with the gum. And I was dared to, eat the gum in the Garbage Pail Kids card.
20, 30-year-old gum?
Yeah, and I didn't think about it until I looked at the back of the card, and I was like, this gum is older than I am, and I'm eating it. Oh, it's the most awful taste I've ever experienced.
Well, the gum, even when the gum was in its prime, it was not good.
It wasn't
at all.
good then either. Like
it tasted like the cards, because it's just stuck in there with these printed cards. So you have the taste of like printed paper embedded with this weird, just gross bubblegum flavor.
I did that not too long ago with some gum, like from baseball cards. I was hanging out with my dad, and he like opened like a box of like Skybox or like Fleer baseball cards in his gum. I was like, "Hey, give me that!" And I like put it in my mouth, and it completely like dissolved within like a second. And I just was like trying to spit it out, but I couldn't because it just started. It was like the blob. It just started wrapping itself like around my tongue. Freaked me out. Ew. But it was just fun because I clicked on Garbage Pail Kids just to look. It holds a 0% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it says
that's so funny.
So yeah, I will probably not be watching that.
Oh, come on, man! Watching bad stuff is good. Watching bad stuff at least once is a fun time. This looks like it could be a fun time with some alcohol.
You look like you watch it with Stigmata. Let me know.
It's probably better than Stigmata. All right, and finally, we're going to get a collector's edition of The Return of the Living Dead. This is on Blu-ray right now. The transfer's okay.
No, it's not. It's bad.
Okay, it's bad. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I had the thing on DVD, and then I watched the Blu-ray, and I was like, oh, it looks a little bit better. So hopefully hopefully they have a good transfer.
A little bit better than not good, though.
Oh, no, for Blu-ray it's not that good. But the thing is, like, whenever Scream Factory says, we're going to do a collector's edition of this movie that didn't have a good HD transfer, I'm like, going to kind of hold out and see if they actually
it's going to be,
come
this
through
came
this time.
out in, 1985?
Yeah, but do they have the elements? Are they gonna,
I don't know, but it's going to be a 30-year anniversary, so I'm hoping, and it's a collector's edition, that it's going to be...
Oh, man, the HD trolls are just waiting for this release.
Oh, yeah. Well, the same thing with Death Becomes Her, because I remember reading about that whenever it was announced, and apparently the Death Becomes Her DVD is like, people absolutely hate that shit. Because apparently the DVD, so they have to work, like, anytime they acquire a film that had a bad release prior, people want them to do the best. And it's like, it's still funny to me because, Scream Factory does do great work on certain things, but it's funny to me having people sit there and like, oh, man, I really hope they get the Scream Factory treatment. I was like, what, you mean the olive treatment where they just slap it on a fucking HD copy on something?
Yeah.
Like, why don't you give it to somebody that actually will put the work in? Because Return of the Living Dead deserves to actually have something decent rather than a repackaged Blu-ray.
Right.
And I'm sad to say that's probably what we're going to get. But
yeah, I would measure your expectations on the transfer and hope for some really good extras, basically.
Yeah. I mean, what is the other one had some decent extras, right?
I think, yeah. I mean, it's sitting on my shelf and I'm like, the trash is okay. It's an older movie, so I'm not expecting anything pristine. And I haven't been jonesing for a new copy of this, so when they do stuff, the hope is when they re-release a movie that's already had a Blu-ray, they better come through with some gold. And
because
they
old
haven't.
Fucking movie is a collector's edition.
Yeah.
Like,
they're going to port over the extras for sure. And
I
don't know.
It's definitely an okay transfer. I mean, but I like giving you shit, but yeah, I don't know. Like,
hopefully they've learned hopefully they've learned their lesson here.
They really have to churn it out on this one.
Yeah. So
that's all it is.
Anyway, that's the Scream Factory announcements. So I mean, I'm excited to check all these out. Like there was nothing that was announced that was like, holy shit, we're finally getting this on Blu-ray. Nothing.
You need to relax.
Crazy.
I did it over Death Becomes Her.
Okay, well, I mean,
I flipped shit.
But this is some fun. This is a fun, group of announcements, and we'll see how things pan out. Now, a few days beforehand, Arrow kind of gave their October slate, and it wasn't as big, but it seems like, they knew Scream Factory was going to announce some stuff, so they announced a couple things. I'm going to go through these very quickly, and if you guys have something to say about them.
I'm going to have something to say about them all.
Oh, God. The only two US/UK releases on their October slate were Black Cats.
Yeah.
And Tenderness of the Wolves.
Yeah.
So
I'm just going to let Brad go on this. I'm just going to sit back and listen.
First of all, Brad, what is Black Cats?
I don't know.
Because I don't know.
It's the Fulci and Martino films.
Okay.
I do know that. So it's going to be two films. So the Black Cat, which is released on, I believe, DVD over here. Right?
I have no idea.
I mean, is it the Black Cat?
Yeah, the Black Cat. There's the Fulci movie Black Cat, but then so they're releasing two films, both basically inspired by this Edgar Allan Poe story, right?
Yeah, I mean, and the other one is Your Vice is a locked room, and I only have the key. Right?
Okay. Sure.
I'm asking because I mean that's the only Black Cat film that I know.
I don't know. I'm failing.
You're gonna make me fucking look it up.
Yep, I'm useless right now. Sorry about it.
You're gonna make me look it up.
Well, you're supposed to be the encyclopedia of the show.
Yeah, but sometimes my memory isn't.
You're only human, Brad.
Martino.
I'm trying to find Arrow's announcement right now, but we got Tom Hanks' picture. We got
oh my God,
Buckaroo Banzai. They got their test discs in. Here we go.
Steel.
Two adaptations of the classic Poe story.
No.
Sergio Martino is the other film.
Yeah, I know, but no, I'm saying what? All right, 1972. I think this is.
Is it the 72 one?
All right. Living a state, imagination, sleeps to the ex-student. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
The cat's name's Satan. Yeah.
Okay, so it's the 73.
I couldn't remember. Yeah.
So it's the 1973 or 72, the Black Alley Cats, and then 1981's the Black Cat together in one package.
Is this a UK-US release?
This is a UK-US release.
Oh.
Yep.
Because I believe the Black Cat. I believe both of these films are Blue Underground.
Oh, really?
Prior.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know what the Black Cat is. I'm pretty sure.
So this is together in one package. Looks great. A nice looking slipcase around, hard slipcase around these two, and it looks like a booklet's going to come with it. So.
I missed that release.
It looks sexy.
Yeah, no, that's super exciting. I mean, the Fulci movie is like 81. Mm-hmm. That's a decent film. I'm surprised they didn't put God, what is the other? I think Dario Argento directed it, but it's in a anthology movie.
Okay, I know that there's a 1934 with
no,
Boris Karloff and Bela Lugosi.
Romero and Argento paired up together to do a movie in the 1990, and it was about the Poe Black Cat. Okay. Oh, Two Evil Eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was surprised they didn't put that in there with it. I think that would have been cool if they took the Poe story and put all these movies together.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be a fun set. Maybe some other studio must own that.
Yeah, but Blue Underground does.
Okay, all right.
So that's why I'm kind of surprised that I believe Your Vice. I say it all the time. Your Vice is a locked room, and only I have the key. That's a long fucking time. It's very much less. It has Giallo influences and stuff like that too. I mean, just the title alone.
Yeah.
It's loose Giallo, but it's definitely a fun film. The Black Cat, looks great, but it's just one of those Fulci batshit crazy shit.
I'm on board for that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely going to be a fun release. I'm definitely I didn't know about that one. I'm excited about that.
Cool. Tenderness of the Wolves looks interesting. It's a German film.
That's the homosexual one.
Yeah, the gay serial killer who murders young boys so he can serve them as dinner to his circle of fellow cannibals.
Yeah, I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen that movie, but Lomel is a very, very odd dude.
Mm-hmm.
He has
That's
made.
putting it lightly.
He has made some weird ass fucking movies, and I don't think I've seen this, but I am excited to do so. Because it seems like it would be kind of right up my alley.
Yeah, it definitely looks very odd. All right, so those are the only two like combo US UK releases. The other ones that they announced were for UK only. So one of these for sure, I know you'll be needing to jump into region free if you're a fan of the films. But first, a movie called Thieves Highway got announced, and I'm not familiar with that one.
Thieves Highway.
Yeah, they call it Thieves Highway, but I don't know if it had a different name on a domestic release.
Was this a UK one, or is this...
Yeah, UK only.
Son of a bitch.
It's starring Richard Conte and Lee Cobb, filmed by Jules Dassin.
Oh, Jules Dassin.
Not. I don't think it's a horror film.
No,
It's
it's fucking Jules Dassin.
It's on their Arrow
What are you talking
Academy
about?
label.
It's a fucking...
Oh, it's
yeah,
a 1949 film. Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably Criterion over
Criterion
here.
will probably release it out here then.
Yeah, I mean, this is Jules Dassin's like fucking, Rafifi and Naked City and shit.
Okay.
Like, because they release Brute Force on the Arrow label,
Right.
which is on Arrow. They did Night in the City, Jules Dassin. So yeah, I mean, it's fucking Jules Dassin. He's like one of the best filmmakers ever. So.
Okay. All right.
I haven't seen this movie, so that's really exciting.
Yeah.
So
You were very excited about this next one, Brad. Deep Red is going to get UK only. Is this out on domestic Blu-ray at all?
yeah, Blue Underground released it.
Okay.
Well, this is Blue Underground did a
4K
great
scan.
job, but this is a 4K scan. So
Okay. And I'm assuming it's going to have some extra features. It looks like it's going to be a nice little set. They haven't released the artwork at all, but it being remastered in 4K is pretty exciting.
yeah,
So this is a 3-disc limited edition with a booklet.
yeah. Anything Argento does that is going to be in 4K, I'm down. Like Synapse is doing the 4K Suspiria, which would be awesome to see.
Man.
So anytime 4K and Argento go hand in hand, I am truly excited. He's not the best filmmaker in the world, but his visuals are pretty stunning.
Totally. I'm super pumped for Suspiria. That can't get here soon enough. The next one that they release UK only, it's called Kiju Yoshida Love and Anarchism Limited Edition.
I do not know what that is.
It's a trio of classics from one of the Japanese cinema's unsung masters.
Oh,
So Kiju
Japanese
Yoshida.
cinema. I think I've run my course at the U.S. Because I mean, I don't know. Like, I guess that might be a big market because I mean they've done that. They've done the
They've done a lot of them.
Stray Cat Rock movies. I'm a big fan of the Stray Cat Rock movies, but I don't know. I mean, it's definitely. I'll probably pick it up just because I'm an idiot.
It'll probably be pretty pricey. So anyway, that's if you're a fan of these Japanese films, I'm sure you'd want to pick it up. I mean, this is Arrow Academy as well. And finally, here's the one I wanted to get to: Hellraiser: The Scarlet Box. Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3 on Blu-ray, UK only. And this thing I think is about $100 or something. I don't know. It's a limited edition, brand new 2K restorations of Hellraiser, Hellbound, and Hellraiser 2, and then Hellraiser 3, Hell on Earth, with just a shit ton of extras and a 200-page hardback book with writing on Hellraiser and the Barker universe from Barker archivists, Phil and Sarah Stokes. So, I'm a huge fan of Hellraiser. Hellraiser 2 is just batshit insanity that I dig, and then I've never seen Hellraiser 3. But I think Hellraiser is the only one on Blu-ray other than like the newer crappy Hellraiser movies, right?
I there's a lot of people that like all the Hellraiser movies aside from the last one that was made like in 3 days. It's not a joke. I think they filmed the movie in 3 days.
Total shit for sure. All I say, Pinhead has to be Doug Bradley, and that's it.
Because they did a puzzle box release, but that was just DVD, correct?
Yeah, Anchor Bay did.
Okay,
the Hellraiser.
That's what I'm thinking of.
They did a nice job on the Hellraiser DVDs. And I was collecting those for a while. Those are pretty nice. I think because I have Hellraiser 2 on Anchor Bay DVD. But
fun fact, I am not a fan whatsoever of Hellraiser.
You are not a horror fan. Get out!
I'm not into it either. I'm on
it.
the same team.
Really?
Yes, I can't get into it, and it has nothing to do with. Because I actually genuinely like the second one because of like the weird like psychosexual stuff that goes on with it, but I just could never get into the mythos of the Cenobites because it's like they're these big, evil demons from hell. But oh wait, we need the assistance of a teenage girl. No, your powers are fucking useless now. You lost me. I'm done. Bye.
Well, the funny thing is about the original Hellraiser is they only come in very briefly. And more towards the end where they all show up. And, but that movie is just so, like, icky and gooey, and the practical effects are so great. And it's just so weird that it's stuck with me all these years. And I saw it later on, too. But the thing is, like, I remember seeing the VHS box art always scared the shit out of me. And his, just Doug Bradley as Pinhead was just so haunting. And looking at the back cover, I was always I kind of recreated these movies in my mind before seeing them. So when I finally saw them, like, yeah, they weren't scary at all. But I think, they're just I don't know, they're goofy to me. Like, they're not scary. The first movie I have a lot of fun with. I think it's a good film. But yeah, when it gets to Hellraiser 2, it's just, it's just how do we get a movie out of these crazy looking guys? How do we weave them into a story once more? And then I have no idea. I mean, I haven't seen all the Hellraiser movies. The only one I've seen is the first one and the second one. So I'm excited to check out Hellraiser 3. This box set, hopefully, I mean, it's packed, so it's going to have some, I would love to have that thing on my shelf. So, I don't even know how many Hellraiser movies there are now. I wish they would have put Hellraiser in space on there. I mean, yeah, come on. Has he been to space yet?
Yeah, I think it was like Heat Seeker or something. Well, anyways, like it's, I don't know. Like I actually watched the first Hellraiser, because I have the Blu-ray. I bought it, I don't know, last year, I guess, because it was one of those things where I needed to see. I had like a list of movies that I was like, shameful list of shit that I just never saw. And I watched it and I was just like, I mean, I'll probably give it another shot. Maybe I just wasn't in the mood. That sometimes happens. But, I was going to watch them all. And I got to the first one and I'm like, wow, I don't even like this. But that goes another thing. Here comes the truth. I am not a Clive Barker fan at all. I mean, the only thing I really like by Clive Barker is Candyman for the most part. But anything that he's involved with, not his books, I'm not saying that, but any of the, books to movies, I really don't care for. Nightbreed, I don't really care for. Lord of the Illusions.
You're fired.
Well, I mean, I guess I do like Rawhead Rex, and that's him, right?
What? You like Rawhead Rex, but not Nightbreed?
Oh, Nightbreed blows. It really does.
Get out.
Yeah.
Wow.
For those who don't know, my living room's a proverbial shrine to it. Granted, that's more Zach than me, but that's neither here nor there.
So you don't, I like Midnight Meat Train. Other than the CG, other than the freaking CGI blood.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
CGI blood takes me out of the film.
I don't even hate the CGI blood in that because I feel like it's an artistic choice at that point. It wasn't like we don't have the budget. Like they were like, we're going to use it as an artistic choice. And I'm like, yeah, good for you.
Yeah, to each their own. It's probably the best use of CGI blood, probably.
Right. It's also real gay too, and that I'm into anything that's
Which is
I
weird
love gay
because
horror. I love it.
that's not Kitamura's style, so it's like kind of weird that came across because
It's
doesn't
written by Clive Barker.
Right, but when you have visuals from kind of a action, an action director come in and it come across like that, I thought that was kind of humorous.
But are you going to tell me that a movie called The Midnight Meat Train is not going to come off as gay?
We're going down the Midnight Meat Train, everybody.
I go to the Midnight Meat Train every
Or the
night.
fact that we're going to have a character obsessed with a man who's named after wood? Okay. Okay.
That's fantastic.
I'll stick the Heat After Dark and
All right.
versus
Brad, I would say check out Hellraiser 2 and then see if you're
Fine.
into the Hellraiser universe, and then you can have your
Hellraiser 2 is my favorite. It's the most
Fine.
any of the others.
Look, I'm typing it in. I'm buying the Blu-ray.
It's not on Blu-ray.
Yeah, it is.
Hellraiser 2?
Yes. Image released it under Midnight Classics. Come on.
Really?
Yeah, what are you, new?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I think I own that. Hold on. See, I have so many movies I don't even know.
I think all the Hellraisers out on Blu-ray.
Okay, well.
I think the only one that is hard to find is Deader, because that was like a Best Buy exclusive.
Oh man, Hellraiser 3 is on Blu-ray too.
Yeah.
So, well, there are going to be new scans by Arrow, so.
Are you sure?
I'm trying to justify this purchase, and right now, it's hard to, because this thing's going to be over $100.
Yeah, because they're all fucking really cheap on Blu-ray. So.
Damn it. Okay, well, good to know. Hey, we're here to educate everyone here. So, you now know you got a sexy box set coming up, or you can get the Hellraiser 1, 2, and 3 for sure on Blu-ray, super cheap, and be done with it.
Well, the third one, actually, I don't see that on Blu-ray other than the foreign release.
Okay.
Because there was a trilogy released in that says, does it say Momentum? Momentum is, I can't read it. It might be Koch Media. I don't know what that is.
You can
Looks
probably,
like it's German.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving along. That's all the announcements. That's all the stuff.
Wait, they released. They're releasing The Beast and Immortal Tales over here as well.
Oh yeah, that was on their September.
Yeah. So
those are like sexy time movies, right?
That's by the guy that did Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Osborne. So I haven't seen either of those, but I'm kind of excited to see what he does with these. Because, I mean, The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Miss Osborne was definitely a experience. So I'm kind of excited to see The Beast and Immortal Tales. I think both of those are out on Blu-ray over in the UK, so they're finally coming out over here. So
yeah, they'll be okay. Yeah, those will be U.S. releases. It looks like they used the same guy who did the Nymphomaniac poster art for these.
You're all about Nymphomaniac.
I don't know. It's just like a woman who's possibly naked or just her head, but with white lettering piece in front of her face. Right.
So, anyways, but tomorrow, Stray Cat Rock comes out on Blu-ray from Arrow, which I highly recommend. So It might be a little. How much is that shit right now?
Oh, it's probably $50. I think it's 50 something.
Whoa, calm down with the fucking language. Here, let's look it up because I really want people to buy it. Stray Cat Rock. It might be actually cheaper to buy the. It is $44.29.
Okay.
God, I like how the UK one is $450 used. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's right.
Anyways,
it was out of print over there.
Yeah, they did a very small limited edition. I got mine for $25 off of eBay. I was super
wow.
I completely missed it too. I remember the announcement, but I didn't remember them like releasing it. And I was like, wait, what happened to Stray Cat Rock? And then I look, and it's been released for like 2 months, and I'm like, man, I'm such a fucking failure. But I found it it was sold out, but I found it on eBay for $25 for a buy it now, and I did that.
Boom.
Did I tell you, if you're looking for out-of-print stuff, eBay Buy It Now is probably the best thing. I got Night of Living Dead Blu-ray from Twilight Time for like $20. I got like Christine for like $25 because people put them on there and Buy It Now and they don't look it up, and you just purchase it and boom, you're done. I've got all my Twilight Time
I never find the deals you find.
That's because you're not cool,
I guess.
Y'all need to start flea marketing.
I know.
I do that anyway, but it's VHS time for that.
All right. So. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week's show.
All right. Bye.
Brad's going to go to sleep now.
I know. Of course, always head over.
Thank you for our sponsors.
To oneofus.net. Check out their other shows. We want to thank them.
Nerdly.co.
I was hoping. I wanted to go down to Comic-Con for a podcast meetup, but I wasn't able to make it down because my kid wanted to learn how to ride a bike. So family's more important than freaking Comic-Con.
Over.
I know. So I was unable to head because I was hoping to meet up with Brian Salisbury, who hooked us up at oneofus.net. So one of these days I'll meet him in person. But they do some great work over there.
September. Hi, okay. Brian.
Slap him on the butt for me, please. And also, I put on over at thescreamcast.com, there's a sponsors page. Head over there. There's information about coupon codes to use for Coffee Shop of Horrors, which is ScreamCast, or at grindhousevideo.com. The code is ScreamCast10. You can save 10%. And give our sponsors some love. And of course, if you haven't bought the Wolfmen of Mars album, what are you doing? Buy it because it's a name your own price. So
yeah, you can give them a penny.
I would say give them some cash because they deserve it.
You can give them a penny and they'll be happy.
Give them more than a penny because it's a really good album.
They may not be happy. They may think you're a dickhole, but
Hey, that's not false.
But that's the risk you take when you put up an album by your own price. But I would say throw them some cash. They deserve it. They worked hard on it.
All right, $5.
$5. I'd say $5.
$10.
Hook them up. All right. That's all I'm saying.
Is there a limit? Can you give them a $100? Can you give them $100?
You can, man, if you want to. If you have money just laying around, you need something to do, throw them a couple $100. Do it.
Just digitally make it rain, man. Just do it.
And of course, nerdly.co.uk for giving us some love over there in the UK. I want to thank all of you guys for listening. And you can always
Grindhouse Video, Coffee Shop of Horrors.
Yep. Yep. That's it.
Sponsors.
Find us on Twitter. Thanks, Brad, for making this awkward.
Brad F. Henderson.
All right.
Sean C. Director, formerly Geek Couch.
Geek Couch is dead.
Ooh.
You can find our Twitter handles over at on our Twitter thing, Scream_cast, and can you follow us individually from there as well. All right, that's it. All of you guys have a great week. Thank you for listening.
Thank you for all the great responses from last week's show.
Absolutely, you guys are so funny. And next week's going to be super sexy. Get excited.
Super sexy. Super sexy.
I'm going to tell sex stories.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Ew, don't.
All right. You guys have a great week. Talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, don't tell me you're leaving. The party's just begun.